Hey everyone, it's Brandon at Mustard Seed Ranch. Oftentimes I get asked, what exactly does a donation to Mustard Seed Ranch do? And my reply is always the same. If only you could hear the stories. The stories of transformation that are not only taking place in the lives of the children here at Mustard Seed Ranch, but in the lives of the guardians that we get to work with as well. We get the opportunity to tell one of those stories of a wonderful set of guardians and their two incredible grandsons, and how the Lord has worked a miracle in their lives in their time here at Mustard Seed Ranch. Over the next 6 weeks, we invite you to follow along as we share the Dillard story, as we pull back the curtains of the lives of these children and these guardians, where they've been and where they are today. Maybe their story resonates with you, and maybe you've seen it before. But it's all too familiar to us here at Mustard Seed Ranch, and that makes our work that much more important. So please follow along, and thank you.
Wonderful people. I am Carolyn Dillard, and this is my awesome husband, Wayne Dillard, and we're here to share our story of two incredible grandsons, Zach and Dylan. This began about 14 years ago when this precious little baby, Dylan, came into our lives. And then about 10 years ago, we had another precious little grandson named Zach that came into our world, and we welcomed them with such love. But their journey has been a rough one in many ways.
Both boys are very handsome young men. They, to look at them and to watch them react and interact with a group of children right now, they look like normal kids. Great kids, great boys, and people just love being around them, and we're proud to be their grandparents. Dylan's personality is one that he's very intelligent. He doesn't have to work real hard at his schoolwork, but he's a little on the lazy side, and that's okay too. It's just part of Dylan being Dylan, and we have to motivate him in some way or another to do the work. A great kid to be around, and you never know what's going to be coming out of his mouth from time to time about his opinions and the way he expresses himself.
Dylan's been with us here at the Mustard Seed for about, probably a year and a half. When he first came to us, Dylan, he was really hard to read. We would talk to him. He really wasn't emotional. He didn't have a whole lot of things to say. You didn't really know who he was. But he was with us for a few weeks, and then we finally learned who he was. Dylan's really different than your typical boy. We don't ask Dylan to change. Dylan is who he is, and that's who we want him to be, and we support him. Although we have cultured him in a different light. Sometimes he don't want to get his hands dirty, but that's okay. But sometimes we make him get his hands dirty. But Dylan loves to read. Sometimes he talks way over our heads, and we need either a dictionary, thesaurus, or something to translate Dylan. But we love Dylan's sense of humor. We love his vocabulary. It confuses us sometimes, but it's very humorous. Especially when all the boys look at me and shrug their shoulders and say, what's he talking about? Very intelligent young man. Sometimes he lacks a little wisdom, but he's working on that. I can see him, no doubt, in higher education. I can see him maybe one day being a teacher, professor. And I see a bright future for Dylan.
Zach, on the other hand, he's a hands-on kind of person. He is also a little on the vocal side and expressing his opinion, but we've tried to get both of them to share with anyone what's going on with them as far as their what they're experiencing at the time, so that they'll know how to express themselves, because there was a period of time where they weren't allowed to do that.
In our home, we've got a lot of different personalities. And Zach, he just let his fit right in. It's a different piece of the puzzle, but it works. A lot of times we get kids and they go through what's called a honeymoon phase, where you really see the best of them. They're polite, they're on point, and they do everything they can because they're still trying to figure things out and feel us out, feel the house out, and figure out where they can kind of draw their line. But Zach didn't do that. Zach came in, he jumped right in, and he just rolled with it. He's a very talkative kid, very conversational, and loves to just jump in and get to know anybody. So he's very open, very conversational. He's a great kid. Love that kid. He's a lot of fun, very animated, very dramatic.
Zach, very creative. He had some difficulties in the beginning of school because no one, when he was at home, chose to work with him, but he overcome those obstacles over a period of time, and with some help from family and friends and tutors and all, he was able to get up to a normal level with the rest of his school buddies, and now he's his self-worth and confidence is building.
Yeah, we've got the things that we're working on with Zach, but this kid really has a heart of gold. When he's able to really look inside himself, and when he's able to really calm down and kind of just recognize his environment and where he is, and see that the people around him are people he can trust and he can enjoy life with, that's when you start seeing the kid who really opens up. Zach's got a giving heart. He's a great kid. He loves his family, he loves his brother, and he loves them hard.
What's really amazing about these two boys is what they've experienced in their life, and yet they are so filled with love and excitement for their futures. And to be honest with you, they're really more of an example for me than anything else. And not only that, but what's really special about watching the two of them is knowing that Dylan doesn't have to be the protector anymore. He's just the big brother. And Zach gets to just be the little brother. They get to wrestle around like little brother and big brother do. They get to, sometimes get in little arguments, but they're just brothers. They get to be kids for the first time in their whole life. And I think that's why the enthusiasm is so great.